Number one, laws of index. So please also write down the solution for the multiple choice questions, okay? Because you still need to know how to do the multiple choice questions, right? Okay. So number one, for the laws of indexes. Wait, is it? That is changed. That is changed. It should be. Should be 909. What is this change to? Let me see. It's 909. Sorry, 909 over. Hi. 唔係揀。唔喺度，唔係呢班，唔係呢班。個919同埋313 ，thank you。有啲錯，係啊係係。Yes。And also questions are changed. Okay. So so the question should be like this. And then because if we want to use the laws of index, we need to make their base. We need to either make their base the same or their index the same. Do you understand what I mean? In this case, there are two numbers. The base are different and their index are also different. Okay, so we cannot use the laws of index directly. We need to change either to change the base or to change the index. Okay, in this case, now you know let's. 如果 base， 如果你要轉 base 嘅話咧，咁一定要係將其中一個 base 轉到做另一個 base 嘅次方咁樣嘅。但呢個咧一個係27，一個係6啊個 base number， 可唔可以將27轉到做一個6嘅次方咧？係咪唔得㗎？即係佢哋可以大家都係轉到做同一個數嘅次方嘅。咁嘅時候咧，我會轉個 index。Okay， so I will change the index 909 to be 3 times 303. So that is like this. 6 to the power 303. That's right, 6 to the power 3. And then to the power 303. Okay, divided by 27 to the power 303. Because 909 can be written as 3 times 303. 我寫多步啊，寫多步，中間試多步。So let me insert one more step here. Okay. The 909 is actually written as 3 times 303. Okay, and then you know that the power of power can be written as the product of powers. And now it is in the reverse direction. Originally, we have the product of two powers multiplied together. Then we need to change it to be a power of power. 6. Get the power 3 first, and then the whole number get the power 303. Okay, because when we change the number to be 6 to the power 3, then you may use the calculator. So what is the value? What is the value of 6 to the power 303? 6 to the power 3, I mean. What is the value of 6 to the power 3? I think it should be 216, right? So the top part becomes 216 to the power 303. And then the bottom part becomes 27 to the power 303, no change. Okay? Can you see what I have done here? Okay, from the very first step to this step. I have changed the index of the two numbers to be equal. Okay? And then I can use the laws of index now. I can take out their index. Becomes the fraction 216 over 27, and then together to the power 303. Okay? So until they have same index, we can take out the index which is originally shared by the numerator and the denominator. Okay? Now, after taking out 303, it becomes one simple fraction here. Then we may use the calculator to simplify this fraction. So what is 216 over 27? Happy? 8. Okay, so it should be 8 to the power 303. You get this? Okay, so basically this can be the answer, but unfortunately it is multiple choice questions. Okay, and then you cannot find any options. Okay, but when you see the number 8, if you are doing enough drilling about the loss of index, you will know the 8 can be changed to 2 to the power 3. Okay, you know this 2 to the power 3 is equal to 8. Okay, so it's always like this. Now change the 8 to be 2 to the power 3 and then to the power 303. It's like this. Okay, finally, we have power of power. Then we may use the loss of index to multiply their powers together. Okay, so I keep the base number to be 2. And then the index becomes 3 times 303. That should be 909. Yes. Okay. 909. Okay, so the answer is option B. Do you understand? OK， 嗱，我自己覺得咧 ，loss of index， 如果係數字做 base， 數字做嘅 base number 嘅咧，我覺得係難啲嘅。如果係有嗰啲 A 嘅次方啊、B 嘅次方嗰啲做 base number 嘅話咧，我覺得係易啲嘅，因為我哋要諗點樣轉 base 呢啲。OK， 如果係數字做 base 嘅話咧，我哋要諗點樣轉 base 嘅，得唔得？如果係英文字母做 base 嘅話咧，我哋唔需要諗點樣轉 base 嘅，係 A 就係 A 冇得轉㗎啦。OK， 係 B 就係 B 咁樣，純粹用啲 loss of index 嘅啫。OK， 所以呢題其實係難啲嘅，得唔得 ？Okay, so this is the answer. And then question number 2. We have p squared minus pq minus q squared times p plus q. Okay. This one is actually not equal, not in any format of any identity. Okay. So what we can do is to expand the bracket term by term. Okay, term by term. So that is like this. So we have p squared multiplied to the p plus q, and then minus pq times p plus q, and then minus q squared times p plus q. Do you understand this step? Okay, I just expand the first bracket. Okay, expand the first bracket, and then multiply each term in the first bracket to the second bracket. Okay, and then I further expand each bracket. Okay, so multiplying the p squared to the p plus q becomes p cubed plus p squared q. Okay, and then careful about the second bracket because it is a negative bracket. So the term multiplied to this bracket is in negative terms. So every term inside bracket will result in the opposite side. Okay, so negative pq times p becomes negative p squared q, and then minus pq squared. Can you follow? And then for the third bracket, I need to multiply the minus q squared into the bracket. It becomes minus q squared p, and then minus q squared times q becomes q to the power 3. Get this? And then we need to find out the like terms to calculate the like terms. Is there any like term for the p cubed term? No, it is alone. P cubed is alone. Okay, no calculation, no like terms. How about the second term? P squared Q. Does it have any like terms which can be calculated? Yes. You can see that P squared Q minus P squared Q. They are like terms. Do you understand this? And then we have 1 P squared Q minus 1 P squared Q. So they are completely cancelled. Okay? So there will be no P squared Q terms. And then the PQ squared. The square goes to the Q for this term. PQ squared and minus Q squared T. Q squared T and PQ squared are exactly the same. Okay? When two numbers are multiplied together, they can be multiplied like this or like this. Do you understand what I mean? Okay? So these two are like terms. We have minus 1 this term and minus another one this term. So what is the total? It will be minus 2 this term. Okay? So it should be minus 2 PQ squared. Okay? Finally, we have minus Q to the power 3. Okay? And that is the alone term. So that will be just copy. No calculation for this term. Okay? So which one is the answer? Should be option B, right? Option B. See this? Okay. Number three. So C over A minus 1 minus AB over 1 minus A is equal to 3. Did you notice that the two denominators are almost the same? One of them is A minus 1 and the other is 1 minus A. They are just opposite to each other. Okay? So what can we do if they are just opposite to each other? Okay, when we are doing the factorization questions, when we have a almost the same common factor, just opposite to each other, then we may do a little step to make them equal. So that is to take out a negative sign. Okay, to take out a negative sign from one of the factor. Okay, so I just copy the first factor, no change. First term is no change. C over A minus 1. And then for the second term, the numerator AB is no change. But for the denominator, I take out a negative sign. The 1 minus A, after taking out a negative sign, becomes negative bracket A minus 1. And then the 3 is unchanged also. Do you understand that? This step is actually important, okay? Because in many questions, in the long questions about factorization, we usually use this trick, okay, this technique, to make the two factors to be equal, to be exactly equal. When you take out the negative sign from the denominator, the negative sign can be put to the front of the fraction of this fraction. I mean. 嗱，呢個咧，如果係個負號喺個分母嗰度嘅話咧，我哋係咪可以將佢寫做即係咁樣樣㗎？咁樣寫啦 ，negative of AB over A minus 1。OK， 個分數嘅負數個負號可以擺喺前面又得，擺喺分子又得，擺喺分母都得嘅。OK， 得。OK， 點解我擺喺前面啊？知？ Because I have a minus. If I have minus negative, that's double negative. I can change it back to a plus. Okay? So the next step will be C over A minus 1, and then double negative becomes plus AB over A minus 1. And right hand side is still equal to 3. Get this? When the two fractions add together having the same denominator, we can merge them together to be one single fraction. Okay, so the left hand side becomes C plus AB over A minus 1. And right hand side is still equal to 3. And now, left hand side is one single fraction, and we may multiply the denominator to the right hand side, okay, to cancel out all the fractions. C plus AB is equal to 3 times A minus 1. And then expanding all brackets first. C plus AB is equal to 3A minus 3. And we check the question again. That's in this question, we want to make A to be the subject. So I need to put all the terms with A to one side and all the terms with no A to the other side. Okay? So I move the 3 to the left and AB to the right this time because I want as less negative number as possible, like this. Okay, so add the 3 to the left and subtract the AB to the right. And then we take out the common factor A. Sorry, common factor A. It becomes 3 minus B here. Okay, so when we do the questions about changing subject, it's always like this. And finally, I just divide the 3 minus B to the left hand side to leave the A alone on one side. Okay, because being a subject is like this. So A is equal to C plus 3 or 3 plus C. Okay, divided by 3 minus B. Can you see which one is the answer now? Let's see. It should be option A. Yes, thank you. Do you understand the steps? Number 4. So fx is this function, it's a function, and then the formula of the function is like this. And we have two unknowns, unknown p and unknown q, right? And p and q are non-zero constant. And if f3 minus f negative 3 is equal to negative 3, so we have some f number here. So we can find out the f number separately first. Okay, f3. Because fx is equal to x squared plus x plus p over q, then f3 will be equal to 3 squared plus 3 plus p over q. Get this? And then you just simplify the numbers. It should be 9 plus 3, that should be 12 plus p over q. And this is our f3. And we also need to find f negative 3 separately first. Okay? So that should be like this. F negative 3 is equal to negative 3 bracket square plus negative 3 plus p over q. Okay? And then it should be equal to 9 minus 3. That should be 6 plus p over q. 咁樣對我嚟講，我每次都係咁樣啦，即係呢度，如果有啲關於 f function 即係 function value 嗰啲咧，嗰啲嘅算式嘅話咧，基本上我都會係抽咗佢出嚟，揾咗佢出嚟先，化簡佢先，然之後咧一次過擺翻入去式嗰度。Okay, so we have done our preparations now. F3 is this expression, F negative 3 is this, and then we put that back into the equation. So let me paste it here first. Okay, and the question says that f3 minus f negative 3 is equal to negative 3. So we put our preparation back to this. 12 plus p over q minus 6 plus p over q is equal to negative 3. Okay, and then left hand side is a subtraction between two fractions. And they have the same denominator now, so we do not need to enlarge the fraction. We can just merge them together. Okay, but be careful here. Be careful, because it is a minus, a subtraction of fraction. So we better put a bracket for them first. Get this? 咧特別要留意就係後邊呢個，後邊呢個即係睇俾即係減緊佢嗰個，減緊佢嗰個咧，你點樣撥好佢先？因為陣間呢一個減號咧係會影響埋呢一個加 P， 會變咗減嘅。如果你唔記得咗俾個撥號嘅話咧，你就會變咗做呢個啦減6，跟住加翻 P 嘅話咧就會錯到㗎啦。OK， 因為實際係應該咩啊？係減6再減 P 嘅話，你 get 到個分別得 ？OK， 小心啲呢度啊。So when I remove the bracket, it becomes 12 plus P minus 6 minus P over Q equals -3. And then 12 minus 6 becomes 6. And P minus P are cancelled. So what is remaining on the top is just 6. And then over Q is equal to -3. And the question just asked us to find the value of Q, and that is good, okay, because the P is already cancelled out. So just multiply the Q to the right-hand side. 6 is equal to -3 times Q. And then divide the -3 to the left, and we may find that Q is equal to -2. Okay, so the answer is option B. Can you get this? Number 5, variation. Z varies directly as square root x and inversely as y squared. So we may let Z be the subject. This time, it is not about partly. Do you remember this? Okay, so we have two types of mixture. Okay, one type is about partial variation, and the keywords will be partly. But this time, it is not. Okay. It will be just a fraction. We have direct variation and we have inverse variation this time. So we need a fraction. And the K is on top. And what is in the direct variation will be put on the top of the fraction. And it should be square root x. Okay? And what is in the inverse variation will be put in the bottom of the fraction. And that should be over y squared. Can you get this expression correct? So we will write where K is not equal to 0. Remember this? 好啦，不過呢題咧，佢就唔係俾咗紮數字你，要你計翻個 K 出嚟嗰隻喎，係嘛？又唔係問你 percentage change 嗰隻喎，係3種題目嚟嘅。呢種題目就淨係會喺 MC 裏邊問嘅。OK， 都問過好多次啊。Which of the following must be a constant? In this equation, only K is a constant. We will make the subject to be K from this equation. Okay, so that's like this. Multiply the y squared to the left. Y squared Z is equal to K times square root x. And then I want K to be the subject. So I need to divide the square root x to the left. So that is y squared Z over root x is equal to K. K is a constant. Okay, so now this fraction is a constant. But do we have this expression in our options? No. Okay, 呢個唔啱嚟，唔啱喎啊，呢個都唔啱嘅。剩翻呢兩個咧冇開方嘅，我哋原式有開方，但係個答案冇開方，個開方變咗正走嘅。What do you do to cancel out the square roots? You know, yes, very good. To square, okay? So, instead, we need to take square on both sides. Like this, square of y squared z over root x square is equal to k squared. And then the square will be shared by every part inside this bracket. The y square can share this square, becomes y to the power 4. And then z square, square root x square. The square and square root are cancelled. So what is remaining is just x. It's equal to k squared. So now, if k is a constant, then k squared is also a constant, a larger constant. Okay? It is not variable, it is a constant. So now, this fraction is equal to k squared, which is a constant. So this one should be the answer. Okay, so the answer is option A. 嗱呢度咧呢種題目咧，呢種題目咧，我覺得你可以學下，即係記一記嘅。因為咧講真咧，得幾個 set 嘅啫，亦都唔會有啲好難好煩嘅 set 嘅。但係咧耐唔耐就問一次㗎啦 ，DSE 啊。Okay. So I would like to spend one more lesson to talk about this UT paper tomorrow. Okay. So please remember to bring this back tomorrow. Okay. And please remember to submit all the questions in the homework. Okay. Before tomorrow. Okay. Stand up. Goodbye, class.